Hey everybody, it's Brandon, the Weekend Cruiser, where I go on a weekend cruise just about every weekend. But this week, I am officially on vacation. I am enjoying my very first Mediterranean cruise, Western Mediterranean cruise out of Barcelona. And so I want to make some videos that talk about and show you what all there are to do in the ports that we're going to be visiting while I am here. So the first port that we went to was yesterday. We left on Friday. Yesterday was Saturday. We went to Sète, France. And yes, I Googled how to pronounce the name of this location because it is spelled S-E-T-E with an accent mark over one of the E's. I wanted to pronounce it as Sete or maybe Sete, but it is just Sète. No fancy name to it, just Sète, France. So that was the first place that we went to. And so I want to talk about some of the things that there are to do there, as well as some of the things that there are to see there. So when you come into Sète, France, you are in an industrial port. You're going to find this a lot in Europe because a lot of the ports have been here for centuries. And so they're not designed necessarily with cruise ships in mind. And so you're going to need to take a shuttle bus from the cruise ship over to the entrance of Sète, France. And so this is pretty easy. It runs very frequently. The bus was actually comfortable. It was large. I was kind of impressed with how many people it actually sat. But that's going to drop you off at the very entrance of the town of Sète, right by all the canals, so you can easily walk around. Now you're going to see some amazing views as soon as you come into Sète. The boats there are very colorful. You've got waterways and canals in this part. But if you keep walking, you're also going to see tons of cafes. This is personally one of my favorite things I'm finding that I like to do here in the Mediterranean is just sit in a coffee shop or a cafe, have some breakfast, have some lunch, drink some coffee. You all know that I love my coffees. And then just take it from there. Take it easy, do some people watching, and move along. So we did start out by walking, and so I'm with one of my friends on this trip, and he said, let's go up to the Cathedral of Sète, or Cathedral of Sète. See, I can't always say it correctly. And that was more than I thought we were going to be doing. So the walk up to this cathedral, I knew it was up a hill, but holy cow, I even made a vlog while I was up there to talk about what the experience is like. So I am not even to the top of this hill yet. Mountain, I guess some people would call it, but we're trying to get to the Cathedral of Notre-Dame here in Sète, France, or Sète, France. And it is quite the walk. As you can see behind me, there's stairs. This has been the same incline that we've been doing for about 20 minutes now. So if you have any kind of disability or you're just not in remotely good shape, I thought that I was, I would not recommend coming here. Hopefully, once we get up to the top, I'm still not there yet, the prettiness or the beauty of this place is really going to take over and it'll be all worth it. Okay, so is the walk up here absolutely worth it? Probably not for the actual Cathedral of Sète. It's very small and probably not one of the best ones you're going to see on this trip. But if you're coming for amazing views, this is what you're going to see behind you. You know, I love looking at the cruise ships. You're also going to see the Aegean Odyssey over there, which is a one-ship company that operates. But the views from here are absolutely beautiful. So one thing I've since learned is there is a bus that runs up to the cathedral, and it looks like it runs about every hour is what I'm seeing here on the schedule. So luckily, we did find an easier way to walk back down, and we went up to the water area on the far, I think it was west side of the town. This is also where they're going to have a castle. The castle was closed on Saturday when we went there, but if you are going with kids, it's still some great views that are up there and something that you could totally do with the family. And from there, we actually walked over to the cemetery. So this cemetery is unlike any that I've seen before, steeped in what seemed to be a lot of traditions from Sète, France. And so I made a vlog about that as well. So one thing you can do when you come to Sète is view the cemetery. So this is something that is quite beautiful here. There's tons of different markers, you know, in memoriam or memorials to family members, loved ones. It is a pretty neat spot to check out all the different placards and the styles that people use in a different country to remember their loved ones. From there, you're going to want to make sure that you're walking into the market. This is actually probably the closest to the cruise port, but they've got a food market that you can go to. The big thing to do here is to eat oysters. Apparently the town of Sète, France is known for their oysters. And if you want to go for breakfast, I saw some people as early as 10:30 having oysters. They shuck them right there for you. The food looks absolutely fantastic. It is a lot of colorful items, colorful dishes, lots of seafood, and oysters are the main thing on the menu. Now, things to do. When you think of what there is to do in Sète, France, there's not a lot. So if you're actually looking to have something more encompassing, look at one of the excursions from the cruise ship. But if you want to walk off and find something to do, the first thing that you can do is they have a train, Le Petit Train, I think is how it's pronounced. Again, not French. But hopefully this is a good experience. I did not actually do the train, but everyone that I saw was full of people. You can buy it when you get there, and they run pretty frequently for about €8 a person. Children are a little bit cheaper than that. They're going to have headphones and will give you a tour of the main area. It's not going to take you up to the cathedral if you're looking for a better way to do that. It's going to stay more on the downstairs area is what I want to say, but on the lower portion of Sète, closer to the canals, is where this is going to run. Another option is they have some cruise tours that leave right from the first canal. So they've got about 3 different routes that they're going to run around Sète that you can choose to do once you get there as well. There was a good line of people that were signing up for this. The boats look very large. And when you're doing a tour from the waterways, I think that it's a really neat perspective. Personally, I just always love being on boats, but it is a really cool perspective that you can get when you go to Sète to see how the city kind of evolved around the canals and from where the cathedral is up on the hill. And as I mentioned earlier, there is a local bus service. So if you want to go somewhere right by the canals when you get off the shuttle, there are local buses that connect and go everywhere. So this is a really cheap option if you're a little bit more adventurous. I definitely think that this would be a fantastic option if you want to go up and see the cathedral. At least take it up there, and then walking back I think is a lot easier. But the hike up there was extensive. So if you're looking at doing that, check out the number 5 bus, which does pick up very, very close to the cruise ship shuttles. All right, everyone, this is Brandon, the Weekend Cruiser, sharing my Western Mediterranean trip to Sète, France. Hope to see you on a weekend cruise soon.